welcome to the highly sensitive person, and this is video number 3 in our series. And welcome to Health Styles Market. My name is Arliss. So I love talking about highly sensitive people. I want a little reminder for you that this is a trait that we are born with. You never grow out of it, and you have it from birth to death. Part of it is just learning coping skills that help the highly sensitive person to feel they're most comfortable in whatever situation they're in. And there's some classic traits that we've talked in video 1 and video 2 that highly sensitive people need to be aware of. And if they are, then they can make plans ahead or arrangements, or they can stand in a situation and realize, I might be better off over there or over here, and find a corner or a side that helps them feel more comfortable in that setting rather than just kind of shut down. So we're wanting to help them learn how to cope and learn how to protect themselves. So if you recall, my little description of a highly sensitive person is they're someone with a high IQ, a very sensitive soul, and a too thin veil. So one of the greatest gifts that a parent of a highly sensitive child can give their child is that we love them, we admire them, they have wonderful traits, we want them to thrive, we want them to be happy, and we want them to be aware of this too thin veil, just meaning how can they protect themselves so that they can be their shining best and thrive in their life. So today we're going to talk about some very specifics. At the end of video 2, we talked about Arthur, who's a highly sensitive child, very highly sensitive. And he has a lot of the traits in these stories of how a person feels who's highly sensitive. And then Catherine is his older sister, just by a couple of years, and she is a non-highly sensitive child. So first we're going to read just a little synopsis here where Arthur and Catherine go to a cafe with their mom. And so one of the traits of highly sensitive people is that they notice and they wonder about things. So here's Catherine's experience at the beginning of the coffee shop with their mom. Catherine smells freshly brewed coffee. She sees a colorful poster on the wall. She tastes chocolate as she sips her milkshake. She feels the seat cushion and finds the fabric soft. She hears mom talking, and in the background there's a hum of conversation and the coffee machine. Arthur smells freshly brewed coffee, and he smells cinnamon buns, cigarette smoke, bleach, sweat, and perfume. He sees a blue, orange, red, and yellow poster with pictures of 4 different types of birds and information about the rainforest printed in 2 different black typefaces in varying sizes. That's pretty specific. He tastes chocolate and milk and a hint of orange as he sips his milkshake. He feels the seat cushion and finds the fabric soft and bubbly and warm and a little itchy. He hears mom talking and 20 other people talking and a baby grumbling and a lady humming and the coffee machine hissing and the dishwasher whirring and ceramic cups clinking, and outside a dog is barking and an engine is revving. As Catherine chats away, she's aware mom is happy. Arthur notices that mom's smile is a little fixed. Her tone of voice has that edge to it, and her eyes keep drifting to cast longing looks at the door. She is happy, but Arthur senses she's also weary. Catherine is focusing on her chat with mom, and right now, Catherine is thinking about and talking about the plans for her upcoming birthday party. That's it. Arthur, meanwhile, is thinking, what tune is that lady humming? It sounds like the one from the toothpaste commercial. What type of bird is that on the poster? And why does this cafe have a poster about rainforests? Catherine's party, a princess cake, but I don't like icing. That man is laughing very loudly. Why? What's so funny? Oh, something's burning. Oh, look, the toasted tea cake. It's all black. I wonder why burnt things go black. Catherine's party at a jump park? I was hoping for a family trip. Maybe to the zoo. I love the elephants. That baby is crying again. Why? She seems really upset. Oh, her teddy's on the floor and her mom hasn't even noticed. Should I tell her? So highly sensitive people also experience things intensely. Catherine's having a good time. She likes the smell of the coffee and the taste of her milkshake, and her blueberry muffin is pretty good. The chair she is sitting on is a bit hard, but not so much that it really bothers her. She's enjoying chatting to Mom, and the busyness and the noise around her is just a pleasant buzz. Arthur is torn. He's having a good time, and he's having a bad time all at once. His blueberry muffin is delicious, and it's the best cake, actually, that he's ever tasted. And the milkshake is really, really good. Amazingly good. Plus, it's lovely and warm in here. Not too hot, not too cold. Just right for Arthur. But it's so loud. His head is spinning. And so crowded he feels hemmed in. And that sweaty smell nearby is horrid. And his seat is horrendously hard and getting itchier by the minute. And to top it all off, there's talk of a jump party. Arthur hates all the noise that they have there. And Mom looks tired, which really worries Arthur. She was up with him twice last night with his bad dreams. Is she tired because it's his fault? Mom, Catherine, and Arthur leave the cafe and head down the street. A white-haired man is walking slowly towards them. He catches his foot on a loose paving stone and falls to the ground with a cry. Mom, Catherine, and Arthur rush over to the man who's struggling to get up. I'm okay, he says. Just give me a hand up, will you? Mom takes his arm and helps him to stand. Are you sure that you're all right? She asks him. Fit as a fiddle, insists the man. He smiles at all of them, pats Mom on the shoulder, and heads off down the street. During this little drama, Catherine felt worried for the man and upset that he may be hurt. As the man walks off, her anxiety dissolves, and she goes back to happily thinking about her birthday party. Arthur, meanwhile, was deeply distressed by the man's accident. In fact, he burst into tears. As the man walks off, Arthur is unable to stop crying. He still fears the feat, the horror, and the acute anxiety that came upon him in the moment that the man fell. So let's go back over this just a little bit. Picture this. Most little children that are diagnosed with ADHD or ADD, this is also an underlying factor. They are in the category of highly sensitive people. And yes, this is tied in with those on the autism spectrum. It's tied in with those diagnosed with Asperger's. This is all kind of goes together, and underneath it all is this highly sensitive thing. So what you notice in someone with ADD or ADHD is even without medication, that starts to kind of burn off, and the symptoms change often when they hit 10-ish, and then as they age into puberty, symptoms change again. So maybe as a little child they ran around as if they were bouncing off the walls and they couldn't control their thoughts and their talking and actions or whatever, but that kind of slows down, and many people notice that in their ADD children and ADHD children. The child also tends to be, as they age a little bit, they get to be a little bit better eater, not miraculous usually, but there's some improvement, and their little variety of limited foods to begin with gets to be a little bit broader, and they're able to eat and enjoy a bigger variety of foods. Their taste buds change and aren't quite as sensitive to that. And so noticing this, how what Arthur is enduring and putting up with versus Catherine. So Catherine, it isn't that she doesn't have a tender heart and is kind and all of those things, but she's not a highly sensitive child. So there isn't all this bombardment from every direction. And so she notices and she can appreciate, she can enjoy, and she can just enjoy the little outing. And Arthur is noticing his chair, the surroundings. He notices all the details on the poster, on the wall. And you can feel that he's kind of like, well, how's this going to go? How am I going to feel? He notices the smell of the cigarette smoke, the bleach, the sweat, and the perfume. Okay, that's kind of overwhelming, because what we really want to focus on is our milkshake and our blueberry muffin. And there's all these other noises, all these other sensations that he has to deal with. Even if he's not trying to notice, he just does. He just does. That's a trait of the highly sensitive person. They notice and they wonder about it, and almost like you could say they almost worry about it. Not quite, but depending on the circumstances. And then he's aware of his mom's smile, her fatigue. What's the emotions behind it? He's kind of wondering about that. Now just remember that this is a little boy in, say, kindergarten, first grade age. And then Sister Catherine is in about, second or third grade. So he's wondering what people think, what others feel, what's going on. Like he's just noticing layers and layers and layers in a very simple setting of having a milkshake and a blueberry muffin with mom. And so this is common. Arthur is torn. Is he having a good time or is he having a bad time? But the actual incident directly as they're enjoying the little cafe is fine, but he's noticing all of these layers and has to work through all of that just to have a good time with mom at the little cafe, having a shake and a blueberry muffin. So we'll continue this in the next video, and we'll be moving into overloading and what that means for the highly sensitive. So remember this, that people don't grow out of this. Maybe they can tune it out a little bit more because they have a little bit stronger veil. But when you take a highly sensitive person into any situation, this could be a daily or weekly occurrence that we pick up a coffee or a Starbucks or whatever, and there's this, all of this is bombarding them, and it's easy for them to feel overwhelmed. Sometimes they develop habits that allow them to go through this experience with a little less anxiety or nervousness. But at other times, you'll notice, even say a middle-aged or an elderly person, when they feel overwhelmed, they go to the corner, they pick the corner table, or they pick there's all kinds of different qualities, traits, habits would be a good word, that they've developed in order to have a thicker veil and be able to more easily go through everyday experiences just like this. Thank you for joining me, and please watch for our next video in the series of the highly sensitive person. Thank you. Bye.